Welcome back to our Cisco TV studio. I am Steve Moulter. It is so good to have all of you with us here on the live broadcast. And we have just wrapped up our first center stage session on Operational GenAI, specifically focused on practical applications of AI across the stack. We heard from Shannon McFarland, Matt DiNapoli. So many fantastic ways that GenAI can be leveraged today to accelerate our automation and adoption in IT and developer operations. And then as we move up the stack, we heard how cloud-native application architectures are using agentic frameworks to scale, to deliver better experiences for our people and our end user customers. So such a great opening center stage session. We've got another one on the way, kicking off just about 13, 14 minutes from now at 12:30 p.m. Central European time. Quick reminder, please keep reaching out to us using hashtag Cisco Live EMEA or at Cisco Live EMEA. We want to hear from you. In just a couple of minutes, Cedric will be right back here in studio with us for a deep dive with Matt DiNapoli. He is also going to welcome in Ali McKeon, key technologist for innovation and CAE Technology Services Limited. Before we do that, though, we're going to head out into the world of solutions and the DevNet Zone, where Rob is hanging out with Casey Tong. Robbie, how's the energy going out there in the world of solutions?
You know, the energy's good. Everybody's been spilling out of the keynote and coming in here and starting to figure out, okay, where am I going to take my next step to kind of process a bit more deeply about everything we just learned, right? That fire hose we call a keynote. Here in the DevNet Zone specifically, and this is an area, I want to introduce Casey Tong. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way so I can speak of you more freely. But Casey has been kind of my go-to here in this section because you've built a lot of these, this way of thinking and way of processing, and I don't want to misrepresent it. So I wonder if you don't mind walking us through what you've got here, because it's grown, and what's important to take away.
For sure, and as you know, we have been doing this for a couple years before, and then this is actually a series of user research activity that we're actively talking and engaging with our customer and our partners in Cisco Live, especially in the DevNet Zone here today. And this is like a set of activities that we designed very closely with the different product BE and BU, including Meraki, Cala Center, service provider, data center, you name it. So all these feedback that we're capturing from our attendees is actually going to go back to the product management and design team, and that is going to help us to build better product for you and for our audience.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have Steve, our camera guy over here, just kind of, he's going to kind of go left to right, but starting with here, because it says start here, so I assume that's where we should start. Sure. Can you kind of give us a feel for how this is laid out in this fashion? What's important here?
For sure. So we're actually having a journey over here. You can see that we're asking our attendees and our developer community, who are they? Where do they think that they fit in? And as you can tell, like Rob was just pointing towards
I recognize a lot of friends here.
Yeah, we have a lot of developer advocates here. So it's not just like a design session. Right. We actually talk a lot about like the technical problems that our audience have, and then we're going to have some brainstorming sessions with them. So we're really here to talk to them, you know, be their therapist for a little bit.
Oh, I like it, because it's almost a softer side of DevNet.
Exactly.
You know, because there is a lot of more stuff that has to be considered. So this share your experience portion is relatively new for this year, or is it completely new?
We've actually been doing share your experience for a couple Cisco Live before, but as you can see, glad that you asked, we actually showcase some of the data that we aggregated from previous Cisco Live. Oh, wow. So we're repeating some of the question, and the reason for that is because we're talking about AI. And you know, as you all know, AI has been changing so much in the past year. Yeah. You can see that the trend actually shifts, right? Are people using AI, yes and no? And what tools are they using? You know, within just like 4 months of time, there's already a huge shift, because there's like big new stuff, right? Even like DeepSeek shows up, right? It wasn't even there, and Google wasn't called Gemini before, right? So there's a lot of changes,
But as mentioned in the keynote, everyone please remember that as Cisco just released a study, none of these models are safe. Your private data, everything, we still need to remain very careful. You know, DeepSeek, great one to play with. They are doing some interesting things, and we're going to learn from that and apply that in other models, but boy, it's an ongoing race to make sure we're doing this in a manner we can all be much more comfortable with. But you're right, we have to integrate it. But what I love is you guys are integrated deeply into these BUs, and it's really about working on how they center around kind of the API communication processes?
Yes. So what happened is that we do track the API adoption for our developer audience in the DevNet zone. So throughout the past Share Your Experience booth, we have been seeing like the trend, like what are the popular APIs that people are using, and then we actually look into more of like API quality, and also specifically this time we're looking into the AI agents, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about, okay, how can we automate your workflow, make it easier for you as you're working as a developer, engineer? Is there something that we can do for the plan and design phase, automate configuration? You can see that people are big fans of predictive analysis, detect anomalies. This is something that we keep talking to a lot of audience today. And this is not something just applied to one product. It could be like across the entire portfolio or across.
But you're pulling stats on how many APIs are being called, so you can say, well, what's being used and why would this not be used? And maybe we didn't write it correctly, maybe we didn't publish it correctly. I don't know.
Yeah, so that is also getting like an idea, like a pattern from people in here, because we do have that metrics, right?
Yeah.
But then, okay, for those who are in Cisco Live, who are in the DevNet zone today, what is that? Like, who are we talking about? Like, are they advanced users? Are they more beginners?
I think you're the therapist. I think you
Yeah,
represent
I'm
a lot
trying
of,
to
but
be.
I love the physicality. But before we run out of time, we'll just pan over this way. As he pans over, let them keep talking. But if one of you guys can look over here, left to right, 1, 2, walk us through what are the developer resources that we've got here?
Yeah, and for those of you, our beloved DevNet community, you know that we have been building a lot of different resources on DevNet, including learning labs, documentation, sandbox, you name it. So we're here to listen to you, like what else do you need? Like, is there anything more that you want us to build? So what if DevNet is working on AI agents? Is there any criteria, any top of mind that you have? You can see that people are saying that, oh, like I want you to build the code for me so then I don't have to hire anyone.
You're doing surveys on
Yeah, we're also doing surveys for Meraki folks. So yeah, we're being really closely working with the BE on all these. And like what I mentioned, yes, these are DevNet resources, but we also work very closely with the different product team, right?
Yeah.
So without working with them, we cannot generate a sandbox, we cannot like update our API documentation and whatnot. So once again, all these will feed back to the feedback loop that we have and the connection that we have with our different products team. And we're really here to listen to your pain points, build empathy with you, and resonate with you all.
What I love is you guys are actually building information out of everybody that comes through here, so it's not just a static, hey, this is what we want you to choke down right now. We want to interact with you and learn how could we be doing this better and kind of where should we be going next. And I just like the interaction, I like the physicality. I feel like it wasn't that long ago, and maybe it's just because I'm getting old, that there were so many BUs that didn't even have an API strategy and didn't have them published. And it's like, hey guys, the world is moving in this direction. It's not without you, but it needs to be with you.
Yes.
And that's, I love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and that's also why you didn't see a lot of people are actually using the API, and we do have a bucket that say no, but it's not no, it's no, not yet. So you're getting there.
Oh,
you're
I like
getting
that.
there.
Great point, Casey.
Yes.
Casey Tong, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate your
Rob.
time here in the DevNet area. And Steve, with that, we'll go right back out to you.
Thank you so much, my friend, and bravo, Casey. Well done. Love what DevNet does, and Casey is a phenomenal advocate and speaker for DevNet. She can join our Cisco TV team anytime she likes. Go ahead and let her know that I said that, okay, if you would. One of my favorite parts of doing the Cisco TV broadcast live from the show is that after every center stage session, we have an opportunity to bring you an exclusive behind-the-scenes conversation with the host of that talk, of that particular session. This is one of the many reasons why we want to make sure that we keep you with us right here on the live stream from the RAI in Amsterdam. So right now, Cedric is here in the TV studio with Matt and with Ali McKeon to talk AI in APIs. Cedric, let's go ahead and send it over to your side.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much, Steve. And as you said, it's always great to have these double clicks, and then after these double clicks to get the guests into our studio, or wonderful studio. I'm so excited to have Matt and Ali with us today. How's it going? What's your vibe today about Cisco Live?
Very, very good vibes. Come straight from the keynote. So lots of great announcements, exciting announcements.
What's your most exciting one?
Probably DPUs and switches.
Okay.
So yeah, I think trying to understand really what that means for our customers, for us as a partner. But yeah, I think that was probably the biggest announcement.
Awesome. And for you, Matt, how are you?
I really think it's the holistic messaging that we're showing going forward.
Okay.
We're tying a lot of the network infrastructure into the security and making sure that it's one whole story that's underpinned by what the promise of AI, which is all really exciting.
And that's what we're going to talk about again, AI, right? AI is infrastructure for code.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions. I'm just going to check my questions here. Ali, can you tell us a little bit more about what CAE Labs does in kind of quite broadly?
Absolutely. So it's a very hyper Cisco-focused programmability and innovation practice that I head up. And we're really trying to take all of the great parts of Cisco around how do we build automation for our customers, to improve those experiences, speed up time to value, time to delivery. And really, this was born from Cisco network engineers developing for Cisco network engineers, so providing them with tooling that they can use that will save them time, that will save them energy and increase overall efficiency. And again, back to how do we improve that customer experience when they're adopting and utilizing Cisco solutions and platforms.
Okay, so how did you guys get to know each other? Like, why is Matt sitting here with you, Ali?
So this is a really interesting story, actually. Yeah. So I went to my first Cisco Live in Barcelona in 2019. Okay. I happened to stumble across a DevNet session that Matt was doing. I actually had a very big enterprise project back in the UK to roll out at scale and pace 6,000 Cisco switches and firewalls. And Matt did a beautiful presentation on how a US retailer automated 1,600 locations in a matter of blistering minutes. And I thought, wow, I need to capture that, bring it back to the UK. This was in 2019. And myself and one of our esteemed colleagues, we worked together, built a little bit of an automation capability, and then saw that in use over that project, and it saved 3-4 months worth of deployment time, saved about 180 days of engineering. So that's kind of how, I guess, our story, or certainly my story, began, and then we only really pieced that together about a year ago.
Yeah, CAE Labs, because of their work through Wiser Watts and their deployments of sites leveraging APIs and integrations with Meraki, has kind of become our kind of good poster child, our good story for leveraging APIs and turning that into optimized optimized and productized solutions within the IT operations space. So really helps tell that story really well. Rather than just it being a concept, it's now in practice.
Absolutely, and that's what we're continually doing. So started with kind of focused automation around provisioning networks at scale, both in Catalyst Center and in the Meraki platform or Cisco Networking Cloud. And it's kind of scaled out now where we're now, how do we capture some of the great opportunities around APIs and the DevNet practice for Cisco security. So we breaking ground in recent months on how do we look at programmability with Cisco Secure Access, with Cisco Secure Connect. And it's just an exciting journey for a traditional, I would say, Cisco network engineer that's breached into the software development world.
Yeah. It's quite cool because for me, you guys are like the poster. Like this is the poster for like Cisco Live next year, like kind of like the way of how you met, like you stayed in contact, and kind of you really built a really strong partnership together between the two companies. Ali, it sounds to me that you're very well versed in automation and like programmability. Are you looking into bringing AI into that mix? Because as you might hear, I'm not sure if you've heard it actually already, but it's probably like, AI is this new thing, right? Like, like how are you bringing that into the mix?
So I think it's a great question because it's very much top of mind. It's, AI is very much an evolution of automation and of what we've been doing over the last 5+ years. So we are absolutely continuing to listen, continuing to learn. DevNet are an absolute enabler in that space around skilling up and learning more. And we've got a particular solution that's pretty much our flagship that we've had several hundred customers adopt over the years, called Network Intelligence. And this aggregates huge volumes of Cisco data around Cisco Lifecycle, Cisco Security, field notices, everything really. So it's a very safe space to probably look at actually how could an AI agent potentially combine all of that data and bring ultimately answers a lot quicker. So we've been looking at potentially an ability for our users, both internally and our external customers, where they can effectively just type in a question in kind of normal sort of speech and be able to pull that data and that reporting in. So we're very much kind of how do we break into that?
Yeah, because what I really like what you said. AI is an evolution of automation, right? And we're going to talk so much more about that, and we can talk so much more about that at the conference, and I will do that after this, because I think right now we're going to throw it back to Steve in our other studio here. So Steve, over back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Matt, Ali, and Cedric. I appreciate that. We are heading back into center stage right now, where Rebecca Stone is going to talk with a phenomenal panel about AI for all innovation and inclusion pathways. Enjoy the talk. We'll see you here back on the other side.